Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever time of day it is there. It's morning here. I'm that nerdy gamer girl, and this is my Mass Effect Q&A. Sorry that it took me so long to get it up. I was having some problems with my video recording software. I'm also in grad school and work full-time right now, so I haven't had as much time to work on this as I had hoped. But here we are talking about probably my favorite video game of all time, Mass Effect. I was very emphatic in my last video, my Skyrim video, but I like Mass Effect even more than I like Skyrim, and I think after you hear the answers to my questions today, you'll probably hear why. So here we go. First question comes from Chainsaw Unicorn, and it is, who do you like more, Grunt, Rex, or Eve? I'm gonna have to go with Rex. All three of those characters are fantastic, but Rex is my bro. He was my best friend throughout the Mass Effect series. I just thought he was such a badass. He was so much fun. So many good moments with him in all of the games, from standing down to Ashley with a gun, standing up, not standing down, standing up to Ashley with a gun, to jumping onto a car in the Citadel DLC. Rex was just my best buddy. I absolutely loved him. Multiplayer class of choice. This comes from Christus. That would have to be a Volus Adept. It's the main thing I played on multiplayer once that class came out, because I love the Volus. I think they're little, they're awkward, they're super fun, and I never played as a biotic. In the series, I've actually never ever gone through the series as a biotic, so getting to play as a biotic in multiplayer and getting to know those different moves was super duper fun. Also, what was the hardest decision to make over the course of the series? There were a couple. Deciding to save the Destiny Ascension was tough for me because I didn't adequately understand how many people were on that ship, and I chose to let the Destiny Ascension die, and had to live with the ramifications of that for the rest of the series, so that sucked. And deciding what to do with the Geth Heretics was difficult as well. I chose to reprogram them, which, you know, made things a little bit more difficult later, but that's definitely what my Shepard would have done, and that's what I would have done as a person as well, so I'm glad that I picked that. Alright, this comes from Totally Not a Nerd. If you were to write Mass Effect fan fiction, what would it be about and why? I actually started one that was a post-synthesis story about Shepard, in which Shepard had been in a romance with Garrus, who was my romance option in the game. I really loved the dynamic between FemShep and Garrus. I really enjoyed that romance. I wanted more of it, and luckily there are thousands and thousands of fanfictions out there scratching exactly that itch, because apparently most of the gaming community seems to have agreed with me that that was one of the coolest romances in the game. Even beyond romance, though, I think the idea of how the galaxy comes together after the events of Mass Effect 3 would be really cool to continue to read about. I also really enjoy stories about Garrus's crew on Omega. I really enjoyed the comics about that, and I'd love to write something dealing with that. So that'd be super cool. Who is your favorite character in Mass Effect, and how did they break your heart? I liked so many people in these games, so that's a bit of a difficult call. But if I had to go with overall favorite character, I'm gonna have to go with Mordin Solus, which I know is an unusual choice. Not many people seem to be obsessed with him, but I loved him. In Mass Effect 2, he actually ended up having a discussion with my female Shepard when I played as female Shepard, and telling her he wasn't interested in humans because he thought she might be into him, because I went to talk to him so often. He's so charming. He's, you know, a little musical theater Solarian, and he's so sweet, and he's done such terrible fucking things in his life, and he learns so much from them. One of the things I love about the Mass Effect series is how much the characters change over the course of the series. And Mordin seems to go through the biggest change for me. Pre-series, he starts out as one of the scientists who committed genocide on Tuchanka. Xenocide, I suppose, because it's a completely different species. And by the end of the series, he, if you allow him to, and I did, fixes what he caused. And his death crushed me. I was made, oh god, I'm like starting to cry about this just talking about it. I was made very sad by a lot of the deaths in Mass Effect, but Mordin's was, other than Shepard's, the deepest sadness from me. I would have liked for him to be able to run tests on seashells as well. And then when they put him singing Amazing Grace into the Citadel DLC, I just about lost my shit. I couldn't deal with that. That was a very, very emotional and beautiful moment for me, because that song holds a deep connection to me. My middle name is Grace, and I ended up singing that song at my uncle's funeral a couple of years ago. He was only 50 years old and he had a heart attack. He'd been a drug addict for years and years and years. And that was the song he had said he wanted sung at his funeral. So to hear Mordin Solus singing that was, since Mordin also died young and had a questionable history, kind of like my uncle, yeah, that meant a lot to me, and that broke my heart. Alright, next. This is from JG McLeod. Hi, Mass Effect question here. What would you like to see in the next Mass Effect game? I actually don't want to see another Mass Effect game. I loved the 3 games, and I think that the extended universe is beautiful. I love reading the stories, I love reading books, the comics, I've read all of them. I'm really into Mass Effect. As you can see, I'm even wearing a Mass Effect track jacket right now. I've paid a ridiculous amount of money to BioWare for things related to this franchise, but I don't feel like I need another game. I chose Synthesis in the Mass Effect ending, and as I've mentioned before, I actually really liked the ending of Mass Effect. I found it to be an incredibly defining moment in my life as a person. The option of being able to choose Synthesis deeply affected me. I was really glad that that was there, that there was a coming to terms and a kind of moving on and evolving as an entire galaxy to be able to potentially live in an era of peace. And for there to be another game after that, it means something has to go wrong. And I frankly don't want to confront that. I mean, I know that's important, but I'm so happy with how it ended and so content with what the ending of Mass Effect was that I don't want a continuation. If it's a prequel, which is what they've potentially discussed, that also confuses me a little bit. I mean, playing a game in, for example, the First Contact War between the Turians and the humans would be really cool, but I don't need it. I really want BioWare to put Mass Effect to rest and work on their other properties. Like, I would love a second Jade Empire game, and that never happened. I would love to see a new game from Mass Effect. Not Mass Effect, fuck. BioWare. I'd love to see BioWare put out a new property, because their new properties tend to be so good. Like Dragon Age, so good. Jade Empire, so good. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, so freaking good. And, video games in general these days, this is a bit of a rant and I apologize. I love it that there are so many continuations of really good games and really good stories, but what I love seeing is new. I love seeing new content, I love seeing new ideas, I love seeing new storylines, and I'd love to see more of that from BioWare instead of more Mass Effect games. How did you feel about the way the series ended? This is from Yanotamak. I liked it, and I think I'm one of the only people who would say that. It ended kind of the way I expected it to. I expected there to be a Deus Ex Machina. I expected there to be a 3-part choice, because every single decision in the game was a 3-part choice. I didn't ever expect some kind of final battle, because I knew that the combined forces of all of the different species would not be enough. The Reapers, fuck. I'm sorry, as I said, it's early in the morning. Let me drink some of this coffee. That'll probably help. I knew that the Reapers were too strong for people to take on in conventional means, so I was expecting space magic. So the ending was pretty much exactly what I thought it would be. It was exactly the kind of choices I thought it would be, and I found it incredibly satisfying and was very pleased. I loved it, and then was very surprised when I found out that other people didn't like it. I understand why people didn't like it, and I've read, you know, hundreds of blogs, rants about it. I get it. And I get why other people were expecting different things, but I wasn't, and I personally was incredibly satisfied and pleased with the ending of Mass Effect 3. Yeah, I really liked it. Who are your preferred romance options throughout the series? My preferred romance was Garrus. I romanced Garrus throughout all the games. By that I mean I romanced Kaidan in the first game, but I didn't really care. It was more my Shepard needed to have some sex before going to Ilos and potentially getting killed. I also made my Shepard surprisingly unattractive. In the first game, I wanted to make her very tough and rough around the edges, so I didn't make her particularly sexy, but then I kind of fixed her up in the second game when they put her back together. And then in the third game, she dyed her hair lighter. That was the only change I made between the second game and the third game with her. Also on the preferred romance option, I watched... My boyfriend played as Manshep, and I did through the second game as well. I did a playthrough of Mass Effect 2 as male Shepard. In that, I romanced Tali. That was really, really sweet as well. He has played Mass Effect through twice, and the first time he romanced Liara, and the second time he romanced Miranda. And those are both really beautiful storylines as well. I mean, really, with romance options, this game has so many great choices. The only one where you really get punked is Jacob. I have a lot of strong feelings about the fact that Mass Effect said, even if you romance Jacob, he leaves you and gets another lady pregnant. I think that was really messed up. Because I know a lot of people who really liked him. I mean, that scene in Mass Effect 2, the romance scene, is a little funny. The, look at this, but the prize. Danny, my boyfriend, and I quote that to each other all the time whenever one of us is like trying to be sexy and fails. We're just like, look at this. Because that's pretty much what Jacob sounds like. But anyway, anybody who romanced Jacob, I'm sorry, you got fucked. That wasn't okay. For the Mass Effect, if you haven't gotten already, what backstory did you choose for your character? My character was a sole survivor of the Thresher Maul attack, and also on Akuz, and also my character was an orphan from Mindoir. Which is your favorite Mass Effect, 1, 2, or 3? 3. Who did I save on Virmire? Kaidan. I wasn't a big fan of Ashley. I really love how they had her develop in the next 2 games, but also at the time I was trying to have sex with Kaidan, so I kept him alive. What is your OTP? Garrus and female Shepard. Definitely. Is Rex your favorite? Say yes. Yes! Yes! Do you play Paragon, Paragade, or Renegade? I played as Paragade. I was about at 70-30 Paragon to Renegade. Some of the options to choose Renegade were just way too much fun, especially once they introduced the trigger system in Mass Effect 2. In Mass Effect 1, I made sure I played as very heavily Paragon so that I could save Rex, and then basically just started picking Renegade options and blowing them up. But I did successfully convince both Saren and the Elusive Man to commit suicides. Yeah. What is your favorite loyalty mission of Mass Effect 2? Man, there are so many of those, but I'm gonna have to go with Grunts. I love fighting that Thresher Maw. That's fucking delightful. I loved that. That was freaking fantastic. Mako or Hammerhead? The Mako. I have to be real. I love the ridiculous lack of physics that motors that car. That was so much fun. Who do you hate more, Udina or the Elusive Man? I hate Udina. He's a dick. The Elusive Man was trying to do the right thing for the wrong reasons. The wrong thing for the right reasons. Udina was just an asshat. I never liked him. The voice actor did a really good job of making him just as hateable as humanly possible. What ending did you choose for Mass Effect 3? Synthesis, 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 all the way. Very big fan. Which ME alien race would you rather have a romance with? A Hanar, a Volus, or a Solarian? I'm gonna have to go with Solarian. I think that's the least awkward of the three, although the Hanar and the Volus both make me super happy. Who are your favorite characters? Everybody. God, I love so many people in that series. Which class did you choose for Shepard? I was an infiltrator. Have you played as male and female Shepard? Yes, I have. Have you tried different classes? No. I played as an infiltrator all the way through. What did you think about Liara's character change through the series? Did you like or dislike her afterwards? I love Liara, and I think the progression that she had throughout the series was absolutely beautiful. She went from a really optimistic, kind of naive young scientist into being the fucking shadow broker and controller of basically the entire intelligence network criminal underworld really quickly. She got very disillusioned and went a little crazy, but snapped back and was just like the head bitch in charge of so many things. I think she's great. She's soft-spoken, she's sweet, and she's a total badass. She's a really great female character in that she's sexy, she's feminine, but she's also really in control of what she's doing. I like her a lot, and I liked her even more at the end. Oh my god, Kaidan or Ashley? Nope, they both live. Fuck you, BioWare. Yeah. No, I picked Kaidan. Did Kirihei survive your playthroughs? Kirihei survived through Mass Effect 1 and 2. I fucking love him. If we're talking about favorite characters, his Hold the Line thing was so inspiring. He really made me feel a lot of feelings, and I liked him a lot. Unfortunately, no matter what you do, he dies in Mass Effect 3. That's actually completely inevitable. Kind of like Cal Rieger, another character that I absolutely loved who you cannot possibly save in Mass Effect 3, which breaks my heart. Favorite planet, Tuchanka. I like Krogan. Favorite squad, Rex and Garrus. Rex and Garrus, all the way. Or Liara and Garrus. Can you sing Morden's Scientist Solarian song? Oh, I had looked up the lyrics for that, and I forgot. Hold on. I'm getting it. I'm totally gonna sing this song for you guys. Here we go. I am the very model of a scientist Solarian. I've studied species Turian, Asari, and Batarian. I'm quite good at genetics as a subset of biology, because I am an expert, which I know is a tautology. I'm also quite familiar, too, with metals dealing medicine. I'll diagnose and treat the galaxy's most sickly quarian. I've cured most deadly plagues that bring populations to their knees, to their knees, to their knees, to their knees. Alright, I don't know where that second verse came in. I just looked this up on Google and got it something from the BioWare forums. But anyway, there you go. That was the model of a scientist Solarian. Favorite biotic and tech power? I like Incinerator. I like shooting off that little fire bubble and having that hit them. I know it's not that interesting, but man, is it effective. That was so useful. Favorite class of ship? SR1 or SR2? SR2. Definitely the SR2. Chambers or Trainer? Trainer. I liked Kelly Chambers. She's sweet. But I'm gonna have to go with Trainer. Who would win in a fight, Grunt or Rex? Ooh, I love Rex, but I think Grunt might be able to take him. I'll be real. I think Grunt might be able to kick his ass. I don't know. That's not something I'd really want to be around to see. So, I'm not sure. That's tough. So anyway, that brings me to the end of our questions. Thank you so much for sending me questions. I really appreciate all of the wonderful responses. that you guys came up with. There was a lot of responses. A lot of you sent me messages. I know I stopped saying your names about halfway through the video, and I'm sorry about that. It's not because I don't love you, it's because I got excited about Mass Effect. So anyway, once again, Mass Effect, one of my favorite games. Fucking love BioWare, which is why my next video is going to be Dragon Age questions. Send me any of your questions about Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age Awakening, Dragon Age 2, or the upcoming Dragon Age Inquisition that you would like for me to answer. You can send them to me on my Tumblr, which is thatnerdygamergirl.tumblr.com, or you can comment here on this video. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Bye.